Good morning, everyone. As Rocky briefly introduced myself, I am part of our ecosystem and ventures who within Accenture as part of our alliance ecosystem, and I'm particularly responsible for our relationship with Micro Focus, managing globally the IDOM business. And today I'm going to share the one of our leading solution called Intelligent Operations that we have built end-to-end with Micro Focus tools, and where OpsBridge is one of our key products that really ties the whole solution together. So let's just deep dive into, and I'll be happy to take any questions that you may have during the session as well. Okay. So before I explain what the solution is all about, and how mature it is in the market for both of our companies, Accenture and Micro Focus, let me just spend a few minutes talking about what are some of the fundamental aspects within Accenture that we felt that we have to create a solution like that. And I think one of the driving factor behind this solution was how our technology is rapidly changing. On this slide that you see that our whole technology environment is slowly moving towards, or probably have already transformed towards, as a service. We all live in a world of hybrid. A lot of our clients are in different stages of adopting or transforming towards a hybrid environment. But what are some of the challenges that really puts us in terms of managing or efficiently managing a kind of a hybrid environment? So one I would definitely think on top of my mind is complexity. As you can typically imagine that in a hybrid environment, you can expect our IT to be operating under multiple different tools, working with multiple different service providers. Every service provider bring their own processes, bring their own tools. Lack of standardization or consolidation. So how do you tie all of that together to effectively manage the whole IT operations? I think that's one of the problems that most of our clients are still struggling to resolve. They are currently operating into siloed environments where every service provider bring their own tools, bring their own processes, so basically a small IT shop exists in the overall IT environment, and what that all results into, like unexpected outages, no control on your environment, no control on your cost. So everything that puts enormous pressure on the way that your IT should be behaving and what your business outcomes are. So that's, I would say, definitely one of the key challenge or pain point is. Then the second thing is that with this whole as a service is also shaping up my consumer demands. This whole phenomena about consumerization, which means that the expectation both from our internal and external clients are very rapidly increasing. They expect full flexibility. They expect full control in terms of what they would like to consume, how would they like to consume, and how rapidly would they like to consume. So our speed of delivery from our IT perspective needs to be very, very aggressive to make sure we are able to adapt and fulfill those demands both from our internal users as well as from our external clients. So that's how our IT operation needs to be very, very resilient. It has to be very, very aggressive in terms of meeting those demands. And then there are definitely other factors like moving from a capital-based kind of running and managing your IT rather than being a more managed service provider in which you provide and let your users consume IT services more on an OpEx model. So they have full flexibility in terms of the services that they're consuming, and they are able to pay a specific price point rather than paying something upfront. So the whole role of IT is completely, I would say, evolving as part of the hybrid environment and as a service. So these are some of the core concepts that we have, some of the fundamentals that we have taken into account, as we started to build an offering or a very relevant solution, which we call it as Intelligent Operations with Micro Focus. Some of the core capabilities which we definitely wanted to deliver as part of this solution was, the machine learning and analytics, because I believe the core aspect of managing your environment, like which mainly comes from your service assurance like monitoring, is being taken as granted by a lot of our clients. When we get into any of our client environment and manage their environment, I think monitoring is the most fundamental basic concept. But the value add where we see is coming from where we can definitely add value is definitely analytics. So how can you make your IT more proactive in terms of be more predictable implement those behaviors in your IT environment so that we are able to take corrective action or respond to the issues before they even occur. So, and then inculcate activities of related to automation, where a lot of activities in your IT operations are operating in a self-driven mode, removing the dependency on a manual labor. So, how can we adopt to newer concepts of artificial intelligence, where your users are more reacting and more comfortable with your IT being performing a standalone role, operating in a more self-driven kind of an environment. So these are some of the use cases that we felt are more relevant, and that we need to add just to make sure our users are getting best quality service. Their requirements are being added in a more timely manner, and we are always ahead of ourselves in making sure that our IT is performing as it's required to be. So we took all of these concepts in mind, and as I mentioned, that we created a platform and a managed service kind-based solution, which we are calling as intelligent operations. Basically, it's a multi-tenant platform model, which is hosted in Accenture's environment. It's pre-integrated, it's pre-architected, completely been made up of on Micro Focus tools. It provides core capabilities like monitoring, automation, and analytics, and then it resolves all those pain points that I mentioned and started my presentation with. It's fully as a service. So this whole platform we currently offer to all of our clients with Micro Focus tools completely as a service. So there's no CAPEX which is being required. They can consume any service out of this platform, which means that if we have to monitor any specific service, could be application monitoring, server monitoring, network monitoring, it could be specific runbook automation, it could be event management. So any service can be consumed out of this platform on a pay-as-you-go kind of a model. Our clients have full flexibility in terms of scaling up and down, and that's how the licensing and commercial model is being driven. Okay. So this is what the platform looks like, just to give you an idea of some of the core capabilities into this platform. On the left-hand side in the blue boxes, you will see some of the core capabilities which we offer through this platform. So right at the heart of the platform is the availability and performance monitoring, which we believe is the service assurance. So that's what our clients expect any managed service provider to ensure that their infrastructure is always up, it's always performing, it's completely reliable. So so that's the most foundational stack. In this platform, we have the complete capability to monitor and manage the end-to-end infrastructure stack, cross network, server, application, and also if there are any third-party events or third-party tools which our clients already using, which most commonly is a scenario these days, because we find most of our clients are already have adopted tools, other third non-Micro Focus tools, but they would like those tools to be included in the architecture for a standardized way of managing it. So making sure that we do realize and incorporate those alerts or those incidents coming from those third-party tools as well. So that's the availability and performance layer. And then once we have all of these alerts coming from different sources, then how do we aggregate all of those together, bring into one single manager of manager, which I think is a very, very important function before you initiate the service management process, because only at this layer, which is powered by OpsBridge in this architecture, we can ensure that your service management process is is completely simplified. We are not flooding the service management into thousands of tickets, which may be duplicate tickets that may have common cause or symptoms. So we are not even correlating those tickets. So instead of flooding the service management process into all of these events which are coming, from common sources, we feel that this layer provided by OpsBridge as a standard event management is very, very relevant. Not only we are able to aggregate alerts from different sources, but as I said, we are able to correlate events as well, which gives us the ability to make sure that our service management resources are only working on the most relevant and not the duplicate tickets. So that's one of the fundamental aspects. And then once you have the event management in place, you're able to apply analytics on top of it, because a lot of the data is getting consolidated at OpsBridge from different sources. You're able to apply analytics on top of it. You can also relate your automation use cases like runbook automation, like if you have to automate any routine service requests or repeat issues which keep occurring in your environment. So orchestrate and apply the closed loop incident management process around those tickets so that automated fixes can be applied. So those kind of automation use cases. So from that standpoint, that as I've said, OpsBridge is truly at the heart of this architecture. That's what I meant, that it collects the data from different sources, and then we are able to apply different use cases on top of it to enhance the overall role of the IT and making the value very, very relevant for our clients. The front end, also the reporting, which is the front end of this architecture, where any of our users, in whether in our client side or internally or externally, they interact with this platform is provided by the reporting, which could be your business value dashboards. It could be your reporting provided by OpsBridge like OBR, and that is also automated reporting, which is directly related to the OMI console as part of the OpsBridge. So from that standpoint, OpsBridge is completely controlling and managing the overall environment, not only just as being an aggregator or an event collector, but also generating the real-time dashboards and reporting as well through OBR and BVD. So just to give you a brief idea that what as I was kind of referring to, that that's how we see the role of OpsBridge in our architecture is collecting incidents and events from different sources. So not only from the Micro Focus tools like could be network and NNMI or server like SiteScope, but I think one of the other important aspect and that we have seen for OpsBridge, as I was mentioning earlier, that a lot of our clients have been they do operate into non-Micro Focus tools. And we've always seen tools like SolarWinds, COM existing in their environment, as we would definitely wish to replace those tools with Micro Focus, but it's a reality that clients have already made existing investments, and they would like to, as an MS managed service provider, they would like us to pull and aggregate alerts from those third-party events also. So the maturity of an event aggregator to be able to pull alerts from those third-party events is highly mature that we felt as part of an OpsBridge. I think there are so many out-of-box the connectors which has already been developed and already in place that comes readily available with OpsBridge as a tool. So I think that capability is highly mature. We haven't really come across any tool in the market which is not able to integrate with OpsBridge, and we lack that capability of not pulling the data from those tools. So I think that is really, really mature in this concept. Yeah. And then once we have all of the data being included, the analytics is where we've seen the most value that our clients see, because not only that we are able to, by applying the analytic use cases, I think one of the most common use cases that you have a major P1, let's say, which has occurred in your environment. So when we took the required action for P1, fixed it, restored the service, so that's all fine. But I think a lot of times client has the question is that is there a possibility or probability of the same incident occurring in the future as well? I think that that capability comes to us through the analytic use cases, OBA, as part of the whole OpsBridge solution. And that works really well because we are not only making sure that your IT is responding to the issues in the current state, but it is being more predictable, and it is also generating behavior patterns for how your IT is going to respond in the future state as well. So we are able to give the futuristic direction to our clients by understanding a lot of log data, incident data that we are able to collect in our environment. So that's one of the most common use cases. The other use cases is definitely we've seen is that at an OpsBridge layer, we have this, that we are able to generate CI mapping and relationship mapping because there is, all the alerts gets generated and consolidated into one layer. So we are able to generate the CI mapping and relationship mapping between, right at the middleware database and a different layer for an incident, due to which our level one processes like, isolating where the root cause lies. So our level one processes within our service desk even becomes more efficient and effective. You're able to isolate issues more quickly and assign tickets to your level two teams more quickly to resolve the issue. So I think that's even the most efficient process as part of the whole solution. So this is one case that I wanted to highlight for our European client, and also I would before I talk about this particular client, this whole platform that we have built and hosted in an Accenture environment with Micro Focus, we have about like 100 plus clients who are currently running onto this platform. So you can imagine that it's quite a volume of work that we are doing. Our own corporate IT, which we internally call as CIO. We recently transformed the whole network infrastructure of Accenture's own corporate IT with Micro Focus tools and with OpsBridge. And these are some of the most powerful, I would say, examples that we have. That not only that we have deployed these tools internally and currently be managing our own environment with OpsBridge, but as I said, there are about like 100 clients who are running onto this platform, and OpsBridge is able to maintain the event management function and the reporting and the whole analytics that we deploy as part of that capability, which is definitely more powerful. And if any further details anyone would require on how those implementations look like, whether it's our own IT, our own corporate IT, or any specific client, I'll be happy to get into a more follow-on discussion as well. So just coming back to this particular one that I've highlighted on this on the slide. So I think as we deploy the tools, our clients immediately expect the value add that they would like to see because of the investment that they've made and because of the newer tools that they've adopted. And the immediate value that we can show is with the OpsBridge event management and correlation function, because what our experience has been that when we deployed OpsBridge and apply the, let's say, topology-based event correlation, there is immediately on the day second or day third, you can see 30 to 40% incident reduction, because now earlier, if you were getting like so many duplicate tickets, but now you're able to cut down those tickets by 30 to 40% because you're able to apply a very powerful and meaningful correlation on them, and then handle those tickets appropriately into your service management process. So that's what this graph shows, that how your tickets eventually starts to come down, and your clients will be able to see the significant reduction in your tickets as you apply these tools and as you apply these event correlation functions that comes as part of the OpsBridge capability. And I think that's really very powerful because the monitoring or the whole other capabilities will be able to provide value over a period of time. But these are some of the metrics that you can immediately demonstrate value, I would say, within the week one of your go live, which most of our clients have seen tremendous value, and they felt really happy and positive about it. So I thought of highlighting it. And these are just related to this. These are some of the use cases that we have applied in different scenarios, like when your server is going down and your multiple processes are not working. You have alerts coming from your apps, your database, your middleware. There are different, for a single ticket, you have different incidents, raising multiple incidents. But I think your management within your IT from an operations perspective, it just comes very handy and very efficient by just through the OpsBridge OMI console, because you're able to see where are all these alerts coming from, what is the relationship mapping between those alerts, and then identify and isolate issues, and then manage your service management processes. So there are different use cases that I've highlighted here, which are very common use cases that you will see in your day-to-day IT operations. Your multiple server which is unexpected has shut down, and again, it could be a server problem. It could be any particular problem in your in the underlying area as well. And all of these cases you will see will normally typically trigger at least 4 to 5 different tickets coming from different sources. And I'm sure that your experience would have been like in current scenarios, you will see an app team working on their tickets independently. You will have middleware team working independently. You have database team working independently, and there's no connection point between them. But what exactly all of this is resulting into is that your time to resolve a particular ticket or time to fix a particular problem is becoming much more longer. So I think that's what we are trying to commit to our clients, that we are able to commit to their SLAs, time to restore their service as quickly as possible, and we are able to deliver to all of those aggressive metrics just because of these efficient way of managing their operation through OpsBridge. And let me just close my slide with some of the quick benefits. I would say these are very, very strong metrics that we've collected, as I've said, that through 100+ clients that we have done those that work, and these clients that we onboard onto this platform is rapidly growing. The solution is turning out to be immensely favorable for Accenture as we continue to sell this solution to the market as part of our managed service portfolio. So being as an MSP, I think one of the fundamental metrics that we sign to our clients is the uptime that we assure. So it's 99.99%, and we are able to assure that we are able to deliver on that commitment is because of these underlying tools and softwares like OpsBridge, which allow us and gives us that capability to deliver those. We are able to make our root cause analysis process 20 to 25% more efficient. Just highlighting some of the correlation capabilities that I mentioned earlier. We are able to cut down costs by 15 to 30% because we are able to apply analytics capabilities like automation, where we might have been spending too much of manual effort of doing those tasks, and now we are able to automate that through the OpsBridge solution. So that's definitely one. So these are some of the core I would say benefits, and these are all very real and tangible benefits as we have harvested through our experience of implementing these tools across those clients, I would say. So that's pretty much it from my side. Happy to take up any questions, or if there are any follow-on, please do feel free to reach out to me, and I'll be happy to get into any follow-on discussion as well.
Thanks, Kulvinder. One question that I have is, what is the issue with customers trying to do what you guys are doing as an MSP? What is the issue for them trying to do it in their own on-premise environment?
Sure. So I mean, one definitely I would say is this architecture can definitely be deployed as an on-prem as well. So we, in fact, being at an Accenture, we have some large clients in which we have deployed the same architecture as on-prem also. But I think some of the clients, one is definitely, I would say, the client lack that kind of knowledge and skills in terms of how to build a integrated architecture together, because of course I think all of these tools coming together in form of an architecture and then applying specific use cases on top of it definitely require a subject matter expertise, not only the knowledge of the tools, but also the knowledge of your business environment, knowledge of your, like your business outcomes and everything. So I think from that standpoint, it definitely can be deployed as an on-prem, but I mean, like you would need a relevant expertise to make sure that you're able to, deploy it successfully, I would say.